Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Demystifying Change podcast. My name is Brian Harrell, and today I have John Williamson from Songfinch. Hi, John, how are you?
What's up, Brian? How you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. So John is here with us to talk about the experience he had with us at ableneo and his company, Songfinch. And as we talk about demystifying change, how we differentiate ourselves from the market. So John, maybe you can do a brief intro onto yourself and what Songfinch is all about.
For sure. John Williamson. I am the CEO and co-founder of Songfinch. Songfinch is a company that takes your stories, memories, feelings, etc., and turns them into a one-of-a-kind personalized song by leveraging an artist community of professional musicians from around the world. Most of the songs are used as GIFs, but there's an aspect of it in which fans come to purchase and interact with some of their favorite artists as well.
Sure. So let me get this straight. So let's say I want to do something nice for my wife. How could I utilize your platform so I come up with some lyrics and they make a song about it, or how does it work?
Yeah, it's super simple. So you go to the platform, there's a handful of inputs, whether it's genre, the mood that you're trying to get across, and then you share a bunch of stories. You share where you guys first met, you share your favorite things to do together, and we take all of that information. We pick the perfect artist to kind of fit the scenario, and in 7 days you get back something that will make your wife cry happy tears. That's for sure.
Very cool. I've always liked the happy tears. That's the best way to go, definitely. So no, it's when I first learned about the product, I think it was in December of 2020. I thought it was very, very interesting. So maybe you can tell us. So what did ableneo do in this project for you? So what did we actually develop for you? What did we produce for you?
Yeah, so our product for the entirety of its existence has been essentially a streaming audio file as a deliverable, and we've tested out some video concept, and we came to you guys to kind of bring that idea to life. So we had this concept of building a like photo slideshow engine that the customer, along with all the details that they're giving, they would also upload photos, and then those photos are essentially synced to the song and delivered as a video file rather than just an audio file. So definitely taking the experience from, let's call it an 8 to a 10 with visuals.
Perfect. And so have you ever worked with let's say an offshore company before in this sector?
We have. I'm a serial entrepreneur, so outside of Songfinch, I've been there and done this a handful of different times. So definitely had a bunch of experiences with different dev shops and supposed dev partners, offshore and within the US.
Sure, absolutely. So when we talk about demystifying change, so with the product you wanted to develop, we had like, let's say, a 2.5 month or 3 month deadline, I think, if I recall. So if you look at your previous experience and maybe our approach, what was remarkably different on how we approached your underlying problem that you wanted to solve?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, we had a very hard deadline. Our deadline had to do with Mother's Day holiday being May 9th of this year. Our window to sell for holidays is usually 4 to 5 weeks prior to that holiday. So we needed something launched by the beginning of April. Honestly, the timeline that we brought to the table seemed pretty unrealistic from our standpoint. So the fact, like stage one, you guys are like, cool, that's the deadline. Like, we're going to have to figure out, we're going to work backwards. We're going to figure out how to hit that deadline. And on our end, we're looking at each other like, wow, this is definitely a new type of conversation with a dev partner. It's usually a bunch of excuses up front as to like why that's not possible or why we're not going to be able to hit that deadline. And I know on your side, it's just like, cool, we just need the proper resources, and the deadline's not a problem for you guys. The deadline's a problem for us. We're going to figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, thanks for the great feedback. I think when you talk about the process, like rather than giving excuses at the start, finding a way to do it. I think in other words, that's basically what we're talking about. But I think also when we were talking in the pre-interview, I guess this transparency and openness towards, let's say, timelines and what the problems are, I think you appreciated, or something also different for you.
Yeah, I mean, look, you guys brought us right into the Jira environment and treated us like members of the team. It wasn't a bunch of cards and tasks that are moving around through an agile sprint and we're just like a bystander. We were part of the entire process. We were part of, essentially, even included in the sprint planning. And then we walked through all the stories. Like it was definitely a different type of process. Um, Again, it felt like a partner. It didn't feel like uh, an external development team, and then especially didn't feel like an offshore team.
Yeah, I think if I recall, we had different meetings. I mean, we were on Central European time. You're in a completely different time zone, but the I see the collaboration that wasn't so much of an issue. I can see that we still synced regularly. We still had the ways of doing things right. What's if we look at the project timeline, it was really quite strict. Was there a point in your mind during the process you're like, these guys aren't going to make it, or was it basically only to the end?
Yeah, not at all. I felt good along the entire process, to be honest.
Great.
I
That's
mean, yeah, you guys kept us clued in all along the way. I mean, you even like kicked us and got us going on certain things. Like, so throughout the process, by no means did we want to become any sort of blocker. So I know we had some duties on our end from our platform, the Ruby platform standpoint, that we had to take care of. So I think the only fear along the entire process is, wow, we're going to hold these guys up. So we needed to figure it out on our end.
Sure, I felt the idea was that our team was like a moving train, and we had to make sure there was nothing stopping this train from getting to the station, and
Exactly.
whatever blocker there was. But I also think we had a bit of fun on the way. I think what one of the things I saw is we were experimenting with one of the products we were doing with, I think, random cat videos and cat pictures. So of
Yeah.
all the seriousness, I think there was also a bit of, let's say, comic relief, if you will. Like we didn't
Oh
treat it
yeah.
seriously, so it
No,
was just great to know.
it wasn't, even though the situation was high pressure, none of the interactions were high pressure. So I think that's something that we really appreciated from our end.
Sure. So maybe I would say, like, now we've finished this product. So if you look at the future with us as a potential partner, so do you see any issues going forward? Do you see any problems going forward, or you think, let's say, an offshoring exercise is still something you'd like to entertain as the next years go by?
Oh, definitely. I think this particular experience has potentially even reshaped the way that we're talking about building our internal technology team. You know, we just closed up a large round of seed funding. We're moving into a Series A, and I think we're looking at what was once a several a half dozen person internal team. We're looking at, hey, we can get a technical product lead internally that can kind of represent us, probably a full stack like Ruby dev on our end, but we can utilize you guys as a permanent fixture within the team moving forward.
I mean, that's great to hear. We always like to help, and honestly speaking, most of our business is in Europe, and now we have some US customers. It's always great to see. So I think maybe you've been so, let's say, flattering and so nice to us, and I really think that we had a very good partnership. So if you were to say to any other US companies to work with a partner and work with let's say, an offshore partner, this fear that some US companies have, I know,
Oh yeah.
working with different companies, so that fear just wasn't there with us, I assume, working with someone.
No, I mean, you understand the fear. I mean, again, we've worked with a lot of offshore partners before, and all of the things that you think may happen had happened. Like there was language barriers, there was cultural differences in which things weren't understood. Everything was taken so literal in a lot of those other scenarios. With you guys, like you could put all of those worries on pause. I mean, again, you guys were bringing concepts and ideas to the table that were beyond things that we were thinking. Our partnership became, you know, that third party viewpoint on the experience and what we were trying to accomplish. And you guys brought a lot of good ideas to the table. It wasn't just, hey, here's the guys who are writing the code and doing exactly what needs to be done here from our point of view. Like, it was a real collaborative effort. And I think that's something that the majority of at least early stage companies and like startup style companies are really looking for, because we don't have all the answers, and you guys know what's possible, what isn't possible, and how to bring some of these things to life, even taking a different approach.
No, thank you. I think if I summarize it, I think we were really actively communicating with you, and I think the team was very passionate about the product as well. I think I can see often that when you work with external development teams, maybe they don't have that passion, but we really did it. I think honestly, you have a very easy product to be passionate about. It's like it's not, let's say it's not an insurance company. It's a very easy thing to be passionate about. But on the same token, I think this active communication, new ideas, you know, making you part of the team is all part of how we try to, you know, impact things here at ableneo. So yeah, it's great. I don't want you to flatter us anymore. I'll blush, and that's not particularly good. So look, I think thank you again for your time, John. I really appreciate it. And as we work further together, I hope we can strengthen our bonds. And from all of you listening and watching, thanks for your time. And if you're looking for any development partner, whether you be in the US or otherwise, ableneo can help you out and hopefully demystify change as it is. So thank you, John, for your time again, and have a great day, okay?
Thank you, you too.
All right.
See you, man.
Bye.